Well, unfortunately, today sucked. And stuff like this is why I was saying last night, and it's not wrong. Fridays aren't as prestigious anymore as they used to be when I was growing up, In this first era in the first era of this phase of my life, pre-COVID, Fridays were the day I always looked forward to. At EOVC from 2015 to 2020, especially in the later years, every Friday when they had the dollar machine in the cafeteria, I would, take a 20 of my own and then get a lot of dollar coins and then go to the vending machine with all the soda bottles and stack them up like Kenny Wallace, with all the Cokes for all the NASCAR races and Spurs games that were on all in one weekend when it was the winter months, the fall months, and the spring months if the Spurs were in the playoffs, which I think was only 2 good years we had the NASCAR and the Spurs in the warm weather months, spring and summer. 2015, not 2015, 2015-16. We had the 2016 playoffs when we signed Aldridge that same summer off season before, and yet here I thought championship number 6 was coming and we were going to give Duncan what would have been his final ring. Instead, we lost in the second round, and I hated it. I hated that we sent Timmy out like that. Yeah, summer 2016, that was it. And then the next year, well, it wasn't it. This is the only 2 years I've been here that I've had fun in a season, because don't forget, we moved here from the Sandhurst house in Brook Park, in the middle of the 14-15 season, so my first full Spurs playoff, or playoff season in general, was 2015, in the middle, at the tail end of the 2014-15 season, because we started that season on Sandhurst, preparing for the move here. So that's the one. That's the one. And I had this YouTube channel back then, but I wasn't really uploading much at the time. I was uploading, but I wasn't going crazy with it. But my first full NBA season in this house was 15-16. And, considering, even though it was just a year earlier, I was on Sandhurst, and also just moving into this house, earlier that same season, the same calendar year, months ago, it felt like a distant memory, because by then that was where I started seeing myself by now. So, so my first full playoff was 2016, we lost in the second round, and then Tim retired, Bonner retired. We traded Boris Diaw away, but at the time, everything was fine. We went into our first year without Tim. And here I thought championship number 1 without Tim was going to come, and our 6th one overall was going to come, and I thought we were going to prove the haters wrong and shock the world by proving San Antonio could win championships without Duncan, But then, of course, the injury bug got us, Parker getting hurt versus the cheating McDouchebags. Everybody talks about what happened to Kawhi in the conference finals, game 1, which was the beginning of the end of a relationship with them, which caused him to quit on us the next year outside of subsequent 9 games. That's a topic for another day. But what people don't talk about is what happened before that event happened, when Parker, seriously injured his, calf or hamstring or whatever versus the cheating McDouchebags, and yet we somehow still won. But even Parker getting hurt before what happened to Kawhi, initially ruined our chances. And then David Lee seriously hurting his knee and ending up in a wheelchair just added insult to injury. Just was the cherry on top that completely ruined our chance to go back to the finals and be in our first one without Tim and have a chance to win our 6th championship in franchise history and our first championship ever in our history without Tim, And then, of course, that was the beginning of the end of our dynasty, which is what led us to where we're at now. So I've not had a fun season of Spurs basketball since 16-17, and I haven't had the only 2 years I had full seasons of fun in this house was 15-16 and 16-17. It's 17-18 we were starting off good, if y'all remember. But somehow we just collapsed. We ended our 50-plus win season, a streak of having 50-plus wins or more wins in a season, and somehow we still barely made the playoffs. The next year, Parker leaves, DeJounte goes down when in the preseason, has his whole 18-19 season wiped out. Kawhi finally forced his way out like he and Uncle Dennis wanted. Danny Green goes away. I mean, we still have very little pieces left from our dynasty teams in the twilight of Tim's career in the first year without Tim. But we were starting to suck, and I don't know how we barely made the playoffs in 2019. But I feel like we probably would have been a lot better if Parker stays and, and doesn't go to Charlotte, and DeJounte never gets hurt in the preseason. And we all know how 2019-20 went, considering that was by then Friday started getting dull. Even without the COVID pandemic, Fridays were getting dull and we were going to miss the playoffs either way. But always remember, as bad as the pandemic was, not allowing us to interact with our friends and loved ones the way we were used to at one point, considering we've come a long way since then, because COVID is not much of a factor anymore. I mean, it's still out there, but it's not as much of a factor now as it was in 2020, any time during the pre-vaccine era. So therefore, considering if COVID never became a thing and the pandemic never happened, then we'd still be going to ELVC. I even had to talk about this with myself at work today. We still would be going to ELVC. We still would have to deal with the idiots, the crazies, the drama, and of course, put all that together, we'd still have to deal with all the explosions, massacres, fireworks, relationship problems, We never would have met Margaret, this pandemic and, this virus, and how far it's come, how much a factor hasn't been there like it was. It helped, it gave us Margaret, and it gave us, a whole new era. It's like, they probably knew I was not going to be at India Cafeteria much anymore, which is probably why they took the dollar machine out. So therefore, the stack 'em up like Kenny Wallace era came to an end as soon as I saw they knew it was no longer in the cafeteria. So that's part of why Fridays aren't as fun and exciting no more like they used to be. Because ever since this Triad ViaQuest era started, Fridays have never been the same ever. So yeah, fortunately, considering I was starting to get tired right before lunch, so I didn't want to have the TV and be in my dream like it has been all season on days I fallen asleep at work. So I went into the lounge to take a nap, and I was doing pretty good, having quiet dreams without the TV being a factor, and I was all comfortable and shit. And then my longtime friend from my ELVC days in 15, 16, Tammy, came in and woke me because it was almost time to go home. And I went to fall back to sleep, but then I had to go to the bathroom. And then I thought, well, there's no point in going back to sleep. Let's just get our stuff. That way we're not scrambling when they're not rushing us when it is time to go. Came home, had Perkins for the first time. Yeah, I had Perkins for the first time in 28 years, and I ended up loving it. So if my grandparents and I can do Blue Sky for breakfast, we can do Perkins for lunch, which I think would be a good idea. But we're never going to do both of them in the same day, because that would be too much, and we'd be spending and wasting too much money, if you know what I mean. So something I look forward to once my schedule finally completely unclogs itself this summer. So, because usually in the non-summer months, it fucking gets clogged up. By spring, it starts opening up more because I'm outside more than inside, because I'm inside more than outside in the winter. The schedule's always clogged up. So, I'm going to try to finish some shows, even though I've not really wanted to, come to a first full circle of finishing a whole television season. Whenever I finish them, I finish them. It doesn't matter when. I mean, I'll probably still do reaction videos, I might do Welcome to Flatch tonight, so I might do that tonight, and then maybe Monday I'll do the Goldbergs, and I'll think of something. And I know Tuesday we'll do Promised Land, and the Johnny Benton installment that I'm gonna finish no matter what. And then if I feel like doing Goldberg's catch up on Monday, then we'll do that, and then we'll do the Biff Kensington installment, and then we'll do the Labonte installment, Bobby, on Wednesday, and then we'll just skip a million little things so everything can stay in sync no matter how we do this, and then we'll just, what was the episode, we'll do the Newman, the Newman, Ty Dillon, and Larry Floyd installments. I'll do all three in a row. The next free day I have. And then, Side Hustle is taking another break, but it's not going to be a long one. They'll be back sometime in April, so that means there'll be no episode. This week, next coming week, and so therefore I'm going to catch up on the one I just missed, and then do a reaction video on that. And whatever Warped episodes I miss, I'm probably going to skip those just so I can stay in sync with that, and I can just do a little combined reaction video of all the episodes I missed, the one with Kevin Smith, and, the one I skipped this week. I'm going to figure it all out. Don't worry. I'm not gonna. I didn't quit watching my shows full time. No, I just don't want to do the weekly cycle because it gets tiresome after a while. It's part of what I talked about in yesterday's video. It's part of growing up. So my shoulder is getting sore from sitting up like this recording. So I'm gonna try to finish this as much as possible. So tomorrow we got another haircut video with Cousin Kenny, and then Sunday because tomorrow after the haircut we're going to be having an overnight stay with my dad at his new crib down in the most dangerous city in Ohio, Lorain. All these people zipping through like it's the EA Sports 500 at Talladega. And speaking of zipping through like it's the EA Sports 500 at Talladega, one of my bosses, Kayla, got pulled over yesterday. As she described herself, she tried to Dale Earnhardt that shit. And I don't mean hitting the wall, because that would be a little too far and very disrespectful. But she tried to go fast like Earnhardt in the 1998, Earnhardt Sr. in the 1998 Daytona 500, the 2000 Winston 500, the 2000 Cracker Barrel Old Country Store 500. Man, or the times he won the 7 championships, or the 10 years ago he won the Gatorade Twin 125s. But yet we have the big boss, Brock Overstreet, trying to Kyle Petty at like his twin of the same name, the 45 Georgia Pacific Brawny Dodge for Petty Enterprises. Whenever Kayla and Kayla tried to Earnhardt Sr. it and got pulled over, but when Kyle Petty's at like his actual counterpart, he gets away with it, which I think is pretty damn cool, considering I remember when we were on the barn route, in which we call it the Steps of Doom, because, those steps are very Tetris to get on and off of, and until you ride it so many times you get used to it. I remember me and a couple other people who were in that van one morning were half asleep, and there was a big curb full of a huge stack and pile of snow. He intentionally hit it just to make a big bam like Ken Schrader and wake us all up. And, that's the kind of people that are fun to work with, when you have people like Brock who do those things, because of how energetic and fun of people they are to work with, how fun and energetic of people they are in general. So, haircut video tomorrow, Circuit of the Americas race video on Sunday. Monday, Walk in the Flats, Rusty Wallace installment will most likely be tomorrow. Yeah, tonight. But what the fuck was I saying I was going to do Monday? Oh yeah, Monday I said I was gonna do the Goldbergs, catch up on the Biffle and Kenseth installment, and do a reaction video combined for those. And then Tuesday will be the season 1 finale of Promised Land for the Johnny Benson installment, and then we'll do the Bobby Labonte of Goldbergs. But we're not gonna watch A Million Little Things. I want to make sure we stay on sync with everything, and we're not gonna do Warped. I want to make sure we stay on sync. We might do a Warped triple header. We might do that. I didn't even think about that. Thursday we might do the Warped triple header. I think we might do that. So Friday we'll do the side hustle catch up next Friday, and then next week I don't know what next week's race is, but I'll look it up after I'm done recording the video, because I don't feel like making 2 separate clips. But I'll announce it in tomorrow's haircut vlog. I'll announce it, the next weekend's plans. But anyway, I wanted to end this video by saying, I didn't talk about this in yesterday's video because I was so caught up in the moment, heat of the moment, considering how much yesterday kicked my ass. Coming this summer in 2022, I know I probably promoted it as a short, but this time I'm going to promote it in a full-on announcement video. Coming this summer, when we start doing season 2 of Fun in the Sun, we're going to be, me and my neighborhood friends that are boys are going to be doing real-life NBA Jam. So basically, we don't have to wear the 2 or more players on the same team. We don't have to do that. We're going to wear just a variety of random different NBA jerseys, but as long as, we're not, 2 people are not wearing the same player's jersey, especially whether it's on the same team or they play, we have the jerseys on the different teams they play on, we're good. I want to make sure we have a different variety. Of course, I'm going to wear my Tim Duncan, but we have, I have my neighbors that have NBA jerseys of their own that they're going to wear, that they plan to wear for this series, where even if it means we have to burn our hands to light the ball on fire, like in the actual NBA Jam games, it'll all be worth it in the end, So therefore, that's going to be fun, right? And, I mean, to be fair, we most likely won't do that, because then that could cause some, permanent damage to our hands, even if nothing happens right away. So we still got to be extra careful, but we're going to try some, exciting, flashy stuff, high-flying dunks, we're going to try all this fancy stuff they do in the NBA Jam games that we're going to do in real life this year. Me, Duke, Braxton, Mason, Cole, Marco, Vinny, whoever's out there, maybe even Zach Barnhart and Caden Clapham can play whenever they're in the neighborhood as the outsiders that they are. We're best friends with those people, and maybe if they have NBA jerseys of their own, maybe they can participate in it. But anyway, so you already know about Garra Acción y Sudor, and Tim Duncan, the return of that and the debut of Tim Duncan, Can I Recreate? But don't worry, there will be the debut of a real-life NBA Jam coming this year. And then there's another the series coming this summer that I'm gonna debut, and I'll promote that in the next update video. So I promoted that in a short too with the NBA Jam video. You pretty much figured what it is. But if you don't know what it is or haven't seen that short, I don't want to spoil it for you. So I'm going to get out of here and just relax for the rest of the night. I have a haircut to attend to tomorrow with my dad. That's going to be a YouTube video with our cousin Kenny and his crew at Trendsetter Barbershop in Brooklyn. And then when I come home, after I'm done with the overnight stay tomorrow night, the very next morning after that, I'll sleep in, come home in a timely manner to watch the Winston Cup Race, the Circuit of the Americas, and give you all a race reaction on that. And of course, the whole rest of the schedule going up to next Friday. I don't know what the plans are, what the next race is after Circuit of the Americas, but I will tell you in tomorrow's video. So have a good night tonight and a better day tomorrow. Life will give you a lot of lows, but when you hit a high, enjoy it. It ain't for the weak. Goddamn. Be you. You have to try harder to do less. So take care, everyone. Good night, and I'll see you all for that next video tomorrow.